Hello and welcome back to another episode of the CQ the Watch Guy podcast. I'm CQ the Watch Guy. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Here we are back in Miami. It's a beautiful day outside. We are at the DavidSW HQ in Miami, right outside of the Design District. If you want to come on by, say hi, grab a coffee, look at some watches, you can visit us at 4800 Northeast 2nd Avenue in Miami, Florida. Looking forward to see you. Give us a call, set appointment, and yeah, come say hi. Let's drink some cafecito, bring a little Cuban coffee by. It's a good time always. Anyways, we're ankle deep, if that's a term, ankle deep into February. Things are kind of chirping along, and the watch releases really haven't stopped. It's kind of been awesome, really, because it seems like we're going to have a nice, steady road of releases from various brands, from various different groups, up until Watch and Wonders, which as a watch nerd, I love. So two pieces I want to talk to you about today that I thought were pretty cool and worth taking note of. First and foremost, we got to talk about the Piaget Polo 79. Everybody's talking about it. In a nutshell, for the 150th anniversary of Piaget, congrats Piaget, it's a great achievement. They have re-released one of their favorite famous models from 1979, the Piaget Polo, introduced it, reimagined it, kind of tuned it up to 2024 standards, in my opinion. So the Polo 79, you get an in-house automatic movement, beautiful micro rotor, probably one of the best looking gold watches out there, right? Let's just take everything else you want to think about. Let's just focus on aesthetics right now. Beautiful case, a beautiful mix of polished gold and satin gold. Even going into the dials, just a continuation of how the case looks. You just have this beautiful, well finished, I'd say dimples for the indices, so you could tell the time. Really nice, just hours and minutes, no sub-second hand, none needed for this beautiful piece of gold. It is just an amazing looking watch, and it just gives you that that 80s, that 90s feel of having a nice gold piece. And really, when you think about vintage Piaget, this is the look that you're thinking about. This is what you like. And I definitely invite people to check out the vintage catalog with Piaget, because you can find so many great pieces at great deals. A lot of them are quartz. Who cares? Especially at the price points you can find them at. Going back to the Polo 79, I think this was just a great introduction for them, a great piece to release for the 150th anniversary, because this is what people really think of when they think of Piaget as a whole. Now if you're a little bit more of a watch enthusiast, all the crazy, super thin pieces they've been making recently. The Piaget Polo, the modern version, has been doing some great stuff as well, including a beautiful perpetual calendar and a skeleton dial that is really amazing. And even just their clean time-only Piaget Polo steel, I think, is a great piece, especially at the price. So I think this really kind of, everybody can talk about it, and whether you're somebody who loves watches or just loves jewelry and fashion, you can really appreciate the Polo 79, and I think it will do very well. So where there's a little bit of controversy, if you want to call that, is on the price. So they're asking $73,000 for this piece. So listen, I'm on two sides of the fence here when you're talking about the price. A brand can ask whatever they want on a retail price. There's no calculator out there. There's no guidelines or whatever like that. And it's really hard to compare brand for brand, price for price, right? At $73,000, you could get a lot of different watches. You could get a lot of different solid gold pieces, of course. Now, for me, it's all about how limited this piece is. It's a limited production, not a limited edition. If I'm somebody, looking at this watch, willing to spend that price point, I just want Piaget to take care of me and don't produce too much of these, because the price point is so high. Help me keep some of my value there by keeping the piece exclusive. When you say that as well, I would love this to be a super accessible watch, because it looks so good, and I think this is a really great piece that you can get on everybody's wrist. And whether you're a watch person or not so much a watch person, you can appreciate that this watch. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when these start to trickle out. I would love to see what these go for in the secondary market. Definitely want to get them in person. But it's interesting to see, at that price point what's going to happen. And I think, listen, it is an in-house movement. There are a lot of people who are kind of fussy on their escapement there. And listen, again, at that price point, you invite people to really dissect what you're presenting to the public, as they should. I love the world where we're in right now for enthusiasts and collectors, because there's just so much information. There's so much conversation and debate on everything that comes out, that really gives, watchmakers and brands, they can really look and review and see what people are thinking about their product. So there's a nice feedback loop, right? There's a nice feedback loop going on, and I'm very interested to see the Piaget Polo 79 in person, and interested to see the effect it has on the market going forward. But no matter what, this is a really good watch, and kudos on Piaget. I think this kind of really puts a lot of people on attention, and it's just a great release that kind of can spread around the world, and I think it lifts up Piaget in a great way. And if you look at their normal stuff, it's not a brand I talk about much on the podcast, but when you just look at their catalog, actually pretty well priced stuff, and a nice variety of pieces as well. And again, vintage wise, you can dive into that pool and have so much fun, especially if you're okay with a little bit of a smaller watch. So kudos to Piaget on the Polo 79. Let's see what happens with that one. Now, moving forward, this kind of took over my WhatsApp groups and Instagram this morning. Zenith Chronomaster Sport full titanium. Right? Who was thinking about that? We just talked about in the last pod, the Zenith Chronomaster Sport with the green ceramic, green dial, which is a beautiful watch. But the Chronomaster Sport in titanium, a winner. Hands down, this is such a great move by them. The Chronomaster Sport is an interesting watch because you always get the Daytona comparisons, right? But it's by Zenith, right? Arguably one of those brands who can bite a little bit of the Daytona style, if you want to say that, because the El Primero was in Daytonas for quite a long time. So they're the one brand, in my opinion, they could do what they want, and I don't think Rolex cares. But to do this Chronomaster Sport in full titanium, priced at $11,800 on a bracelet, so only $800 more than the stainless steel version, 30% lighter. You could get it on a strap as well, but I get it on a full bracelet, man. Buy a strap later, in my opinion. High B 36,000 VPH, chronograph, beautiful dial, still keeping that monochromatic theme. You got a charcoal gray, a lighter silver, and a white dial for your chronograph sub dials, and a beautiful gray dial that just kind of goes well with the titanium case, because of course titanium is going to give you grayness. I think this watch is such excellent release by them. I think this will do very, very well. One, it's already available, it's super accessible. At that price point, to me, it checks off all the boxes that I want. In-house movement, unique case, fun watch, accessible. Probably going to do really decently on the secondary market as well. We saw the Chronomaster Sports kind of stay close within retail for quite a long time, and there's still, depending which year and things like that, it still float relatively close. It's still a good watch to get in that you could trade out of relatively easy. I think these will do very, very well. And I just want to say kudos to Zenith, man. Kudos to Zenith for just coming out and keep swinging. The Chronomaster Sport has been doing very well for them. Of course, the Defy and all these other models are doing pretty good, in my opinion. But I think the Chronomaster Sport, which was, to me, a model that first came out, and again, was so polarizing, there's so much discourse about it. But when people actually got them on the wrist, saw the pieces, you really can't say much negative things about it. So I love that they've kept expanding the collection and kept using fun materials, different colors, a few limited editions here and there. There's a gem set one that was just released that's interesting as well. But to see this, like, I want this right now. Like, I'm going to wait for it to come at DavidSW.com, but I really, really want to see this watch in person. And I think this is the Zenith for me, especially we're talking for a modern Zenith. Full titanium chronograph. This is a do anything, take it where you want, looks great, and you take it in the watch room or in a get together with all the watch friends, then everybody will love this watch. I think it's just a great watch, great price point. Good job, Zenith, for releasing, in my opinion, another hit and expanding that Chronomaster Sport line in the right way. Now, after talking about some new releases, let's get to some watches you can purchase right now from DavidSW.com. Make sure you check out the new arrivals section where all these great watches I talk about arrive, and we'll post new watches every single morning, sometimes in the evening as well. All right, first up, we have a Breitling Navitimer B01. Beautiful Navitimer on a bracelet. I wanted to talk about this because it has that beautiful ice blue dial that I really, really love, that Breitling's been doing. I think it first came out on their Premier watches, so we're seeing it now on a Navitimer, and it is a gorgeous piece. I think that ice blue dial contrasts so well with the black sub dials, and then your slide rule scale as well. I love Breitling. Everybody knows this. I'm a big Navitimer fan. I think it's one of those icons that has lasted since the 50s. It still looks great today. Great tool watch if you really want to use the slide rule and your pile and things like that. But you take all that out aside. Amazing watch, in-house movement, really great looking piece. Something that is a tank, especially on the bracelet. And I would have a lot of fun putting these on straps as well. Price point, unbeatable, $69.75. Again, in-house unique dial, great bracelet. And this one is in excellent condition. Definitely a piece I would suggest anybody try on. If you're a Breitling fan, if you're thinking about an Navitimer, you just don't know which one because there's so many variations. I think this is a really fun one that is kind of hard to beat in my opinion. Winner to me. Now stepping up a little bit, we have a Cartier Santos-Dumont, 18 karat rose gold in the large case. I love Cartier. I think they've been doing great job in the past, forever. But in the past, few years, they've really been hitting with a lot of the watches. They've been coming out, and kind of same thing as Piaget, right? They just kind of reintroduce a lot of models and kind of update them, make them a little bit more modern while keeping all that DNA, all the essence of the watch alive. And that's what you get with the Santos-Dumont large. Just a nice, classy piece. This looks great with a tux. This looks great in any kind of dressed up situation, but also will look good just on a night out, a little bit casual on a great Miami night. I would enjoy this watch. I would even maybe put a different strap on it, maybe even a red strap, just to have a little bit of fun, or like a deep navy. I think we're very interested on this watch as well. $11,375. This one's a full set from November 2019, and definitely a piece to think about. If you're looking to go gold, you're looking to go something, a little bit different, but still classy, still very elegant, I think the Santos-Dumont is something you should definitely keep your eyes on and try to get into the collection. All right, going forward, we have a ladies piece. I don't talk enough about ladies watches, and we do always have a nice selection of them rotating in and out. They do kind of move fast, so I wanted to shine a little bit of a light on that. Valentine's is, in the air. Love is in the air as well. So I want to talk about the ladies Datejust 278-274 with the blue floral motif. These came out, I think, a couple of years ago, if I'm right, with the floral motif, and it's just a gorgeous watch. Beautiful, looks like blue flowers on the dial with little diamonds in the center. Beautiful, gorgeous piece. 31 millimeters as well. Now these sizes you don't see around that much. Surprisingly enough, 31 millimeters, they go, and it's very hard for us to get them again. You'd be very surprised when you try to hunt them. It's very hard to find a 31 millimeters because usually when people get them, they kind of keep them and hold on for a very long time. So if you're looking for something with a splash of color, something special, I think this is definitely a great piece to look at for yourself, or if you're gifting this to your significant other or somebody else. This one's unworn from June 2023, so perfect condition, beautiful dial at $14,575. I think this is a great piece to take a look at. All right, now stepping up a little bit, we have the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore in titanium, the Michael Schumacher Chronograph limited edition. This one's from July 2013. I picked this watch because it reminds me of when I got into the secondary market business, right? And the era of AP, the era of Royal Oak Offshore that was going on there. So a lot of 44 millimeters, 42 millimeter pieces, and it just had kind of a different, kind of more blocky style. And the Schumacher is always in a watch that I've been attracted to, and it just has a very unique look, unique DNA, even amongst the Royal Oak Offshore family. So I thought this was a fun one to talk about today. Beautiful chronograph in titanium. We actually do have the rose gold version as well in stock at the same time, which is very rare to see. So You could have both. If you need something light, you need something heavy, you want to mix it up, I'll cut you a deal for both of them if you want to do a two for there. But great piece. And again, this just kind of reminds me of a different era of Offshore. I love what they're doing now, but this just has a different character to itself. And if you're a racing fan, if you're F1 fan, we all know what Mr. Schumacher means to the industry and to the racing game, the motorsports game there. So for many reasons, a special piece to pick up, but also a piece that I think these classic offshores, even you go into the Schwarzenegger pieces, the legacy and things like that, I think these will always be relevant. These will always have there's a romanticism with them. I think these will stand the test of time because so many people connect to them for so many different reasons. And this was just an era of when the offshores were just crushing it all around. So I think these pieces are just great pieces to get, especially if you're somebody who, has a bigger wrist, you like a 44, you like a larger piece, this is the piece for you. You need a old school 44 offshore just to flex it, just because it looks good. And again, have the titanium and the rose gold full set, $49,875 on the Schumacher. And last but certainly not least, we have the Patek Philippe 5168G in the blue. We were just talking about Aquanauts in the last episode, and these just speak to me. I love the 5168G. I think, I like a little bit of a bigger watch. So at 42 millimeters, this really fits me really well. Being that it's white gold, it gives me that heft, that feeling that I really want on a watch, especially when I'm paying this type of money for it. And again, I think Aquanaut is one of those pieces where once it's sized the right way to your wrist, I have not seen one that doesn't look good on every wrist. It doesn't look good in every situation. It seems like a sport watch, but I dare you, put it on with a suit, it works. It's a great partner to do everything with. And I think the 5168G blue just gives you a little bit extra, you could say, luxury, a little extra bump, a little extra oomph, a little extra feeling on the wrist. And I think it's just a strong watch. I see them doing very well consistently. The green is beautiful too, but the blue just has a really good vibe to it. And I think it's a little bit more versatile as well. A great candidate for a one watch collection, or to crown your collection. You don't have too many watches in it. Very versatile. And I think this has a lot of legs. You really get your use out of this piece, and it's just a beautiful Patek Philippe. So who doesn't want a beautiful Patek on a strap that you could do anything you ever dreamed of with it? I'm sure you can even skydive with this. I wouldn't have too much issues with it. Either way, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you're wearing on the wrist. Tell me what pieces you're seeing, and with all these new releases, what you're excited to get on the wrist. Any questions, comments, or concern, you can always reach out to me in the comments, or you can shoot me an email at cquan@davidsw.com. And that's the end of the show. I hope you guys have a great day. And remember, buy what you love.